What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button. Hit that notification bell, make sure you're not missing any of the awesome content that we have coming out. Continuing on with our Indie Comics Weekend, we are jumping into the secret history of the war on weed. This will be a one-shot published by Image Comics, coming from writers GERRY DUGGAN and Brian POSEHN. If you are a 420 individual, this is a comic you do not want to miss out on. And though this is a one-shot, it does have the possibility of a return. So be sure to buy the comic, support the industry, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so throughout this entire comic, we are getting narration from our writers. It starts off by letting us know that the drug war, it was a racist, prohibitionary catastrophe. But pretty much everything that follows in this comic is complete fabrication. But in Humboldt County, we saw the rise in Northern California of marijuana and marijuana farms. People out there growing without any concern about federal regulations or prohibition, as marijuana started to spread through the United States. This is the 80s. And we have Madam President, whose polling numbers are looking horrible. Because of this, they need something to get the people on their side. They need to conjure up some kind of boogeyman that will make the American people want to keep Madam President in her office. And to create this boogeyman, they need one of America's finest. That is Scotch McTiernan. They find him currently south of the border, working on a mission of his own. This is his vacation time, and what he is doing is taking out the lizard people. And apparently, the lizard people, they have been here for much longer than human beings ever had. Not only that, they are able to use clean energy, they're not relying on fossil fuels, they're just a sustainable, peaceful society. Or at least they try to portray themselves as such. Scotch, on the other hand, he doesn't care about this in the least. These guys aren't human, which means they need killing. And so as Scotch takes this lizard off of the map, a helicopter is coming in, having the codename Whirlybird. He has been sent in to retrieve Scotch because Madam President has a new mission for him. As he gets to the aircraft carrier, the general lets him know that there is a new enemy, and it has everything to do with 420. And Scotch, at first, he says, "Oh my god," because 420 is also Hitler's birthday, immediately believing that Hitler has come back, and Scotch gets the opportunity to kill freaking Hitler. The general letting him know that it is far worse than that. It is marijuana. Scotch hating whatever they tell him to hate. They airdrop him into Northern California, where all of the weed farms are growing exponentially. As he hits the ground, he pulls out his flamethrower and he starts lighting everything up. Their entire harvest is going up in smoke. As all of our farmers, they start rushing outside, guns in hand, ready to try and take him down. Now his job is not to kill these guys. What he is doing is shooting the guns out of their hands, maybe grazing some individuals. But for the most part, it doesn't look like he is actually killing any of them. While some of these farmers try and stand their ground, others go running. At the end of the day, these backwoods individuals have no chance against America's elite. That is, until a black-haired, beautiful woman shows up behind him, simply asking the question of why. Finding himself distracted, he gets hit in the back of the head with a shovel. This knocks him out and he wakes up, finding himself inside of a cage, completely tied up, with the angry mob debating on what they are going to do with him. Maria chimes in, the one that had distracted him, not really caring who he is or who sent him. They are not going to treat him like they would be treated. Unlocking him from his prison, he starts beating the crap out of everybody around him. Hands still tied behind his back, Maria lays some good punches on him. As they have him restrained, Maria informs him that they are setting him free, but in a much different way than he imagined. Hooking up a gas mask and a bong, they put the gas mask on his face, and he takes off to outer freaking space. You've heard of the Man Thing, you've heard of Swamp Thing, but he gets so high that he meets Weed Thing. And just like that, we see Scotch, he becomes a completely different person. All of this anger, all of this hostility and aggression, he is quickly coming to the realization that he has been a major bummer for a long time, and he is ready to make a change in his life. He is ready to be a better person. As soon as they take that gas mask off of his face, he goes over to the phone, he calls Madam President, puts in his resignation, and lets her know that her war on drugs can go straight to hell. Apologizing to the community, giving restitution to those that deserve it, and asking for more marijuana. Scotch has finally found his bliss. As he starts to explore the world and the culture of marijuana, he finds himself at some kind of festival that is playing horrible hippie music, with Maria letting him know that the music, it really is crap. And when the drum circle starts, you should probably put on some headphones. But the experience is why you are here. As Scotch walks around this little festival, this is where he runs into her. This is where he meets Alexis. Finding weed, finding love, and finding true happiness. The world looked like it was his for the taking. But at the Pentagon, we have Madam President and our general gathering up the team of assassins to go take out Scotch. Our team being made up of Mr. Misconduct, the Spider, Carol, Cocaine Johnny, Bop, Bench Press, Warbrain, Handsome Johnny, The Crusher, and Agent Ern. And even these guys kind of question this. Like, if Scotch is out here smoking weed, why don't we try it to just see how evil it actually is? But the general insists that this is the worst thing to ever happen to America. That Scotch needs to be taken out. All of these assassins, they're a little bit concerned because all Scotch did was try to walk away. Now they're thinking, what happens on the day that we try to retire? Are you going to be sending everybody after us as well? The general telling them that if you don't do this, we're gonna take care of you anyway. As they start to get a little bit of a sit rep on exactly who Scotch is, they are going against America's elite. In 7th grade, he is able to join the military and he fought in Vietnam, accumulating the highest body count of any American soldier. They are gonna have their work cut out for them. Taking us to Scotch on this little farm. He hears the helicopters coming in, worried that Alexis might get caught in the crossfire. He leaves her lying in bed, and he makes his way to the barn, loading up with every single gun he has, wrapping that American flag around his leg, preparing for battle, making some pot brownies. He is ready for war. And for Scotch, he knew that this was inevitable. Lucky for him, Uncle Whirlybird is on his side, being the helicopter pilot that is supposed to drop off the assassins to Scotch. He drops them off at a location that Scotch had chosen for them. Because Whirlybird had owed him one, he was able to set up this trap, being dropped in front of a car garage. As Cocaine Johnny goes to get inside, immediately hitting a tripwire, we see Cocaine Johnny blown to smithereens. With the rest of the team going in, we see Scotch arriving in his poorly armored van. One by one, we see Scotch tearing this team to pieces, taking Bench Press's arms and ripping them clean off, putting the butt of his rifle straight through the little tank of Warbrain. Agent Ern and Carol getting the jump on him, able to throw a knife into his shoulder. He quickly grabs the both of them on the top floor of this building. They get pushed off. The last one standing is Misconduct, as the two of them go toe to toe, as they go blow to blow. This team has been taken off the board before they could even play. And now Scotch is headed directly for Madam President, coming in, letting her know that he is here to apologize, but not for choosing the side of marijuana. He is here to apologize that your entire team is now dead, and he has one last thing to do before this war ends. Making his way to the press room, all of the reporters are standing by, the news cameras are going, and he lets it be known that the United States has lost its way. We need to stop waging war on things, especially marijuana. That we need to be better. We need to stop feeding the military-industrial complex. The reporter's asking who he is, and if he comes from the Department of Education. He says no, that he is just a dude who smokes some weed. Unfortunately for him, he has killed many individuals, and Madam President makes sure that he gets locked away forever. And though he may have believed at one point in time that he was the first person to ever create pot brownies, that was just him being high. The truth of the matter, he is the first one to create toilet herb, marijuana grown in his prison toilets. And while Scotch may have deserved being arrested, by going to prison, he learned some very valuable things. That there are people in here that were arrested just for the possession or growing of marijuana. Entire families that have been shattered, believing that America, we can do better. As Scotch is currently locked up in prison, this is where a government agent comes up to him and lets him know that he has a work release so he can go out and do some jobs. But these jobs, they don't seem to be related to killing people. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, if you're a pothead like myself, you're going to thoroughly enjoy this comic. It was honestly so much fun. And it also had some really great points in it. While much of it was fabricated, there is some underlining truth. You know, back in the early days when marijuana was actually made illegal, when prohibition had just started, the lobbyists that were spreading the propaganda were using things like saying black people would smoke marijuana and they would sleep with your white wives. Now, of course, this terrified the white population at the time, being terrified in general of black people. This was just another excuse and another stereotype. But these lobbyists, they pushed for from the oil companies to the paper companies, because they saw how well hemp could do, having so many different benefits, from building material to clothing to paper itself. It was a huge threat to logging companies and so many others. That propaganda, it only spread with reefer madness. I mean, I know I personally grew up watching the commercials where they crack an egg and they're like, this is your brain on marijuana. It's great to see that it has come so freaking far, that in 2022, most of the states have some kind of medical program, if not recreational. And I know that this is a little bit late. I wish I could have done this on 420, but of course that was my wedding day, and I did that specifically because it is 420. But since I didn't get to cover this on that day, happy late 420. Smoke 'em if you got 'em. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by hitting the Super Thanks button. This button will let you donate directly to the channel, and every little bit helps us out. If you can't do that, do me a favor, hit that sub button, hit that notification bell, make sure you like this video, and until the next breakdown.